have a guest in studio today, don't we?
We do. We do. We have one of the most popular furniture movers in the world joining us in studio today. The great Adam, the Lectern guy, Johnson. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm good. So glad you're here, man. Tell us, what's new?
Oh, gosh, not a whole lot. On a Capitol tour right now, just finished up today. Trying to get all 50, trying to catch them all like Pokemon. It was a successful run. We actually got 12 lecterns on this go through, so it was good.
You have them all here right now? Can we just like parade them through the room?
There's a bonfire out back, yeah.
Do people tense up when you walk into a Capitol? Like, uh-oh.
Every once in a while, I do get a Capitol security officer who does know who I am, but, you know, I don't really hide it. I got a hat and a jacket,
Right.
so.
That's amazing.
Do you catch them like staring at you harder than like anybody else, or?
Sometimes I'll get an escort.
They're following you. They're like, uh-oh, we got to bolt these lecterns down. Well, you got this book out. Tell us about this book, man. It looks this book is beautiful and it feels great. It's a heavy book.
It is. I wanted to put something quality out there because they are memoirs. I think it is it's history. You know, whatever they say about January 6th, that is my story.
Yep.
That's what I experienced, what I went through, going to prison for misdemeanor trespassing.
It's unbelievable.
$5,000 fine and federal prison.
Yeah.
So the book I couldn't release for 5 years as part of my plea deal because the government said that I wasn't allowed to write a book and sell it. Going on podcasts, going on with Tim or anyone else, it was always out of my pocket for travel expenses. But, you know,
That's right.
You have to go out there and you have to tell the truth because you have responsibility to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, it's very weird now. I'm curious what you think. If you're at all surprised about 275 federal agents being at January 6th.
I think it's a low estimate.
You think? Really?
It's a low
It's a conservative number?
Well, those are the federal agents. Are we including the CIs as well? Are we including the ATF? Are we including DHS? Are we including any other agency that was there as well?
Right. I mean, we all saw I mean, not all of us, but I think a lot of people watching, a lot of us saw those videos of agitators at J6. One in particular that comes to mind is someone smashing windows and then trying to get other people there. And then the other people are like, no, don't do that. And I think that was happening quite a bit. And we also saw, what's his name, Sullivan? The guy who was there, who eventually sold his footage of J6 to like CNN. And it turns out he was actually in the Capitol waving a knife and agitating.
Yes.
It's crazy, you know?
Crazy and orchestrator are kind of synonymous these days.
Right. Do you think, and like, what happened to those guys? You think they got in trouble?
They got book deals. They got paid. That's what happened. Meanwhile, I just have a book. I'm self-published. You can get on my website. My website is called unlicensed.furnituremovers.com. It's not a joke.
That's great.
It's a joke, but
it's great. It's great. You should do a box truck tour. You should have a box truck with that name on it.
Yeah, put some fertilizer in the back, drive around, see what happens.
Okay, now the drones are descending on the Inverted World studio. They will be abducting all three of us from this room.
Oh, you mean the ones that have been posted up in the exact same position for several weeks now outside? We were looking at them tonight for crying out loud before Shane came into the studio.
I'm just really into community gardening. I'm not sure what you took from that.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know history at all in this country.
Everything turns into a conspiracy on this podcast. Okay.
Well, everything is a conspiracy. Clearly, I mean, look how much crap you got for what happened at J6, and then everyone else who even who dared question the narrative of January 6th. You know, I was excommunicated from family members. I just told the story a little bit ago on IRL because I didn't think J6 was as bad as 9/11. I had family members. I was living. My grandma lived with us at the time. She had leukemia, and I was telling her this. You know, and I guess word got out, and then I had some relatives come by and have to struggle session my grandma into trying to excommunicate me from her. And I'm like, she's living with me. And I walk in on these like little whisper struggle sessions, like, I think he's an insurrectionist.
He thought about it once. That's basically,
That's
guilty.
Yeah. I didn't say enough bad things. But the book, they can find it. Say the website again.
Unlicensed.furnituremovers.com.
Incredible. It's great. I'm stoked to look at it, dude, and see it. And I want to read it and hear your take on things. And I can't believe the stuff you've been through. And the one thing I'm just now remembering that really blows my mind, the gentleman who was maybe someone who was prosecuting you.
Oh, yes.
Walk us through all of that. Can we go back to the beginning? Who was this guy, and then what happened?
Okay, so I was self-surrendered 2 days after January 6th to county jailhouse. Spent the weekend in isolation. Wasn't until Sunday they gave me a phone call. Apparently, I was supposed to get an hour of rec. They actually had me in one of those Epstein cells, where it's a 24-hour observation.
Did the cameras go out?
Someone was looking to buy boats behind the glass.
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez.
So they finally bring me to court on Monday because they always arrest you on a Friday, so you spend the week in the tank. We get there. There's a prosecutor there out of Tampa. His name is Patrick Scruggs. Patrick Scruggs, clean-cut guy, American lapel pin. They come out against you. This is the case of, the United States of America versus Adam Johnson. Very haunting thing to hear.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, very heavy, very heavy. So he called me a threat to my community. He gave me an ankle monitor, nightly restrictions. I couldn't leave the Middle District of Florida. I had to pass piss tests, even though this is a non-drug crime. I'm clean, so whatever. Right. But all these things. So fast forward a couple of years. I finished my sentence. I finished everything up. I'm good to go. Patrick Scruggs, one day on the Howard Franklin Bridge, was caught on camera by several bystanders, exiting his vehicle with a knife, approaching another vehicle of a passenger who was having a medical emergency, broke out the window with that knife, and proceeded to stab him on camera over and over and over again.
Did he kill him?
No. So he did survive. It's actually a very, very convoluted story. I'll give you the Cliff Notes. So after he does this, another motorist comes up to stop Patrick Scruggs, my initial prosecutor, from stabbing this man. Patrick threatens to stab that man as well. Then he goes back to the car and stabs the motorist more.
What is he thinking? What did he say?
He's a federal prosecutor. He's above the law.
What are you thinking? What is going through his mind? Like, I need to stab this person, as opposed to helping him.
I was gonna say it's a fairly extreme response.
Well, the fact that he left his vehicle with a weapon shows intent to do harm.
Sure. Right, of course.
He used, so he actually appealed. He's in appeals right now. The judge, he tried to go for a stand your ground claim.
Oh, wow.
That this man was a danger and he might harm others with his vehicle.
Wow.
Because he caused an initial accident. So, so the judge's like, no, that's actually really retarded. I'm going to throw that out. Wrote a 12-page, list of why it's retarded.
Right.
So he's appealing it right now. Wow. This man's been walking free for almost 2.5 years.
Wait,
now.
I thought he was put away.
No, he's been free the whole time. He bonded within 24 hours.
Holy crap! And you went to his trial.
I go to all of his hearings, every single one.
Such a menace.
I'm sitting there in a suit, my lapel pin on, good smile.
If this is anybody else, bail gets set a little bit higher than that, doesn't it? I mean, you get your usual 10%, but they tend to, kind of beef up.
You'd think, is our justice system flawed?
Corrupt?
Lectern guy?
I think it's cute you still call it a justice system.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. It's so frustrating what happened to you guys at J6. We just had Peter Navarro on.
Yeah.
We've talked to, I think Stephen Horn is the journalist who is there.
Yep, Stephen, yep.
And everyone has these nightmare stories of the judges basically stripping them of any proper defense.
Yep.
I mean, the same thing happened to Alex Jones, too. Obviously, different story altogether, but he couldn't even defend himself properly.
Yes.
Evil. Stephen Horn couldn't show that he was a reporter reporting at J6.
Steve Baker went through the same thing. That worked out.
Oh, yeah, Steve Baker's the man.
Now, it's crazy. We hired attorneys before charges even came. Because I saw what's going on in the news. I called my Leo friends, called my wife, and have a good friend. His name is Jennings DePriest, really good friend of mine. He's like, I know a couple of attorneys. This guy works for Republican Party in Florida. He's like, I know some good federal attorneys. You need to get them now. So I called them Dan Eckhart and David Bickney, and they're like, yeah, you're in trouble. So we hired them, but it was to the tune of $100,000.
Wow.
For good representation.
Right.
Now, the other option is to get a court-appointed attorney out of D.C., and if you know anything about D.C. statistics, I think it's a 98% conviction rate, and they vote 96% Democrat. Good luck.
Right. You're screwed.
Jacob Chansey's lawyer came out and said, I'm representing short bus people. So that was the caliber of attorney you were getting out of D.C.
Oh, he had a D.C. attorney.
Uh-huh.
Yeesh.
So when I hired these high-profile attorneys, they went on with one of the Cuomo brothers, Chris. They went on Chris Cuomo when he was still working for the other hack network.
Yeah.
And he grilled my attorney saying, why does he deserve your caliber of expertise? Don't you know who you're defending?
Wow.
I can't hire good attorneys.
I'm sorry. Chris Cuomo is the brother of a mass murdering freak. I lived through New York when he was doing what he did to the elderly in the nursing homes when he put the sick people in, and they were just having a good old time, him and his brother, on whatever network that was, at CNN, with the giant Q-tips and laughing away as literally thousands of people were dying. The old people were dying because of his decisions.
When he wasn't playing cannoli fingers with his female staff.
Dude, it's so evil that he got Me Too'd, you know, and not like Nuremberg trialed for what he did. And then he ran for mayor recently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe he's still running.
going. He's still going against the communists. I hope the communist wins.
New York deserves it.
They really do.
And I love New York. That is, I've lived in the city, lived in the country north of New York. I love it there. But they are voting for their own destruction.
This is Nineveh. This is Sodom and Gomorrah.
100%.
Like,
dude.
you can definitely look. And I love the story of Sodom and Gomorrah so much because there are the compassionate people who's like, look, if I can just go find one good person there, like just, was it two? I think it was two.
Right.
It's one or two. If I can find one or two good people there, where you promise not to destroy the entire city,
Right.
guys, like, you can look, but I can see it.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I know there's some good people in New York. You know, I'm related to some of them, and you know their lives have been completely destroyed. They can't protect themselves in a completely violent city. A lot of them work for the hotel unions, and they're in the hotel trades union out there, and a lot of those hotels were literally taken up by the city and then filled with illegals. So they lost these jobs.
Yep.
Meanwhile, so they go home without money, and then the mayor, it was Eric Adams, giving out debit cards filled with money to the illegals.
They were shutting down
Deranged.
public schools and filling them up with illegals.
Yes. Yep. Yep. So they do deserve it. I love you guys out in New York. I fled because there was no saving it. And it's very sad because unfortunately, when New York City votes a certain way, it does destroy the rest of the state. You know, in the rest of that state, there's a lot of that state that's red, very deeply red.
Upstate is beautiful.
It's amazing. I love New York. It's so beautiful, but the city ruins it, and it can be great. So back to the justice system. Like, while you're going through this whole process, are you thinking like, as the kids say, black pilled on all this, or do you see that there's something something that can be done to remedy just how destroyed the justice system is?
Well, Article 3 insulates federal judges in a very, very solid way, and until we actually address that and maybe change some of the lifetime appointments to, I don't know, maybe get a 6-year appointment, and then we'll revisit that.
Right.
Or
right.
maybe they should be elected officials and not officials that are just put in because of nepotism.
Installed. Yeah, yeah. You know, when you guys listen to all the stories of what people went through in J6 and how you couldn't defend yourselves, it's completely deranged how that is even allowed to happen. But that's the norm.
Well, the white pill in me, and I try to stay positive because, you know, I got a bunch of kids, I got a great wife, and, you know, if they change who I am at the end of this, then I'm failing my family, and that means they win.
Right.
So the white pill in me says, what it did was it wake a lot of people up, and if we had to be, voluntold to be martyrs at the end of this, then so be it.
Right.
It woke a lot of people up to realize, man, things are really out of control. They could really just go after school teachers, firefighters for showing up and asking questions, walking through open doors in a public building and going home.
Yep.
They hunted us down. They were breaking down doors, putting guns in the faces of babies, infants.
Right. I mean, there are people who didn't even go to J6 who were arrested. They weren't even there.
Enrique.
I was just exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
A friend of mine's father actually. This is a Chicago firefighter for decades. Also went to 9/11. Was one of on the Chicago dispatch to go to 9/11.
Right.
The American hero, in my opinion. He was dragged under the bus for some J6 stuff, and the media outed him publicly, locally, back home, about this and tried to defame him. And I think he was overjoyed when 47 was elected because the overturn. Basically, he got off the phone with his lawyer, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, is everything good? And he's like, it's all thrown out.
Right.
He's like, absolutely relieved, you know?
Well, the pardons were necessary, but I am skeptical about blanket pardons for a handful of reasons. One, when you blanket pardon everyone, it means everyone did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I still think hitting cops is bad. You're not going to convince me that's ever a good thing to do.
Sure.
But the sentences they were receiving were unjust. So definitely these people need to go home. They need to go home to their families. That's not the status quo. We need to make sure they're back home to their families.
Right.
What you also do is there are people who were charged with being violent who weren't violent at all.
Great point.
And they can't appeal their case because they're pardoned.
Weren't
they
they
can't
kind of-
go in and get discovery and show like, no, I didn't strike a cop. I patted him on the back and said, good job. And that was a charge of assaulting a police officer.
And weren't
now
they
can't
kind
appeal
of
these things?
They were struggle sessioned into saying those things. Like they were said. I think they were saying, if I get the story right, like if you just say you did this, we'll give you such and such time.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
So they had to admit to something they didn't do.
Yes. So this is so the federal government, they will overcharge so they can plea down, and that's how they have that high conviction rate.
Right.
They will bring the 1512C, which was the impeding an official proceeding at a federal level. That was ruled to be not a real charge by the Supreme Court a couple of years ago. It made a lot of felons not felons anymore.
Right.
But they'll bring these charges and then plea down.
Right.
I did 16 or 17 hours worth of proffers with the FBI, being grilled for hour after hour about who I knew and where I came from.
What were they thinking? Could you tell that they had some idea in mind of you being a part of something bigger, a bigger conspiracy?
Well, they took everything from me. They took desktops, cell phones, they took social medias. I mean, my life was completely open up in front of them.
Wow.
And what they found when they went and asked my neighbors, when they went and asked the churches that I work for, is he's a nice guy. I'd let him watch my kids and my dog.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't care.
Not a single neighbor, after being grilled by news reporters and the FBI, had one negative thing to say about me. Not one negative story came out from my friends, even my ex-wife.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
Like, even my
Shocking.
ex-wife is like, yeah, he's a nice guy. I mean, just...
Rare. Shout out to the one awesome ex-wife out there. Real quick, hey, thank you, the SIG P220 for the super chat. Tim Walls just signed driver's license for all in Minnesota. When asked if this meant illegals could vote now, and they applauded yes. Is that surprising to anybody?
No, and I read about that earlier.
Wow.
There's a whole loophole involved in that to where you are actually allowed to cast a ballot without being a U.S. citizen for having one of these licenses.
The last time I voted in New York, they didn't ask for an ID, and I asked them, like, you don't want my ID? They're like, no, why? They looked at me like I was retarded for saying I should have an ID. And they're like, no, we don't need that. That's outdated. Mm-hmm. Who does that anymore? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, this is a bend around of the voter ID laws to help keep illegal immigrants having the ability to cast ballots in one way or another. This one almost makes it completely legal, if not does.
I'm just glad that black people can finally get a license.
Do they know how to use the internet?
I don't think they do.
I've heard from Joe Biden that they don't know what computers are.
They don't.
So are they giving them free computers now? How is this working?
I hope so. I really do.
Every black person out there needs a free computer from the government so you can finally get those directions to the DMV.
Yes.
Because it is difficult. And that's, I saw it in the news, so it must be true. And the president said it. The corpse that we had in the White House for 4 years said it, so it must
and
be
he
fact.
wasn't wrong about anything.
Never.
He's got cancer now.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. But is it even him who has cancer, Adam? How many clones have we had of Mr. Biden? Well, speaking of craziness, and that made me think of Hunter Biden saying that meth is actually a very clean drug. You were talking about sobriety.
Not for your teeth, but everything else.
So you were telling me earlier you're 2 weeks clean now. You were from drinking, not meth.
Not meth.
Not meth.
I'm
I
never
want to make that
up.
clear. It's not meth. So what's going on? How'd you get there, and how you feeling?
So it's been 15 or 16 days now, and I went through January 6th, and I always enjoyed a good single malt. I have a huge collection at the house, and it got to the point where I was drinking every day after this, and I wasn't like a terrible dad or a bad husband. I kind of checked out because the weight of everything.
I'm sure.
And I went through all my stuff. I was sober in prison, so I did have a little stint there, which was nice. And I got out, I started right back up, and it got to be almost a bottle a day.
Wow.
And I was just falling asleep and missing out on some of my life.
Right.
And I woke up one day and I realized, I can say that I'm a good husband, I can say I'm a good father, but my actions of not being here because I'm drinking myself into an early grave,
Right.
don't show that. So I woke up one day and I'm like, I just don't think I'm gonna do that anymore.
Great.
So
Congrats.
I just quit, and I feel great, man. Like
That's amazing.
It feels it's a big burden just gone.
Yeah, I know. I have an Irish family, so the cliches are true. At least in my family, and I grew up with a lot of that. Real bad in certain ways, you know. Not so much my dad, but he was. He's still with us. I'm saying was as in he was an alcoholic. He would say he still is, you know, because he's in the program. But he hasn't had a sip in 30 years. So when he was in his rough spot, I don't remember it. I was so young. But I'm grateful that he made that decision to stop, because the family would have ended.
It ran rampant through my family. It made everybody incredibly violent. Holidays meant people boxing that were blood relatives. Right. You know,
we're still gonna box.
Equals us all going home early. You know, turkeys getting burned, people drugging out. Yep. You know, and it was just terrible to see. You know, as a kid, you know, and all my cousins and stuff. I was probably one of the older ones usually that had to watch it, but it was just like, it sucked watching your family be torn apart by this. Mm-hmm. And I always swore, yeah, I'll never get that bad. Well, then I got a full-time job doing IT and just general customer service over the phone, where you are absolutely berated, just pounded on, beaten to shit verbally every single day, day in and day out. And just get back on the phone, get back on the phone, get back on the phone. I did that for so long that I developed going to the bar after work syndrome, which is I can't wait to get the hell out of here and go have a beer or 12. And completely forget about this until I have to go back to work the next day. You fall into a cycle. The next thing you know, you've been drinking for 3 years. I went through that too. And if you could say beer doesn't count all you goddamn want to. I will drink beer until the damn sun comes up, and that doesn't mean that it's a good thing. Like, sure, it's delicious. We all love beer. Having a beer is great. You know, I like a single malt too. Absolutely delicious. But realistically, like, when you're coating yourself in this shit, it brings destructive, violent properties. It tears people apart.
And it's just not good for you. You know, like, did you feel like a darkness is lifted? Like, did you, maybe not while you're in it, you could notice the darkness? Or were you like trying to just ignore that there was a thing there?
I think when we talk about, you know, I'm a Christ believer. I'm a Christ follower. I grew up in church, and I don't currently attend church, but I do read my Bible. I do pray. I'm a believer. And I do think that addiction is a form of possession. You know, and I think when we talk about, you know, possession, you know, demons, things like this, you always think it's going to be like this, like a Conjuring type thing, you know, or Amityville Horror. But, you know, there's subtlety to it.
Of course.
There's subtlety to addiction where, you know, it is your best friend. It is the thing that's there for you when you're having a bad day. You're having an argument with your wife, or, you know, the car broke down. There's, you know, well, hey, I'm here. I can make things better, right? Yep. And when you try to leave those people, it's when you really do believe, like, that is a possession. I was possessed by that thing. That thing did control me. Yep. And when you recognize that, I don't know, I feel a massive weight lifted.
That's great, man.
And it wasn't, you know, I'm not in a program. I'm not, you know, I got a guy that I talked to on this trip because it's my first trip alone, not drinking. And I talked to him every single night. Nice guy. Hey, thanks for answering. Yeah. But, you know, the desire's gone.
That's great. It can be so destructive. And I used to make fun of, like, the phrase a gateway drug. You know, I'm thinking about that, but it is, a lot of these things can be, in terms of, like, you're doing this one thing, you're kind of feeling like it's just a medicinal thing for you to get through the end of the day, a rough day, you know, the stuff you went through, but it does, and I think of it as possession and demons as well, especially with drugs and anything that is separating you from God. And making you, you know, even though we're trying our best and still being our best father, best as we can as a father and a husband, you know, there's this thing over here that's like almost like a tumor, you know, and you're just like, I'm falling back on it. This is my routine. You fall into it. But the problem is not just the drinking and all that stuff and what it does to your body and what it can do to people around you and the time you're missing out on, but it can lead to other things, you know. Absolutely. And it doesn't always, but like that term, the gateway drug, as much as I made fun of it, you know, I just said it last night. I talked about the C.S. Lewis book, Screwtape Letters.
Great book.
And that's kind of like what they're doing is the gateway drug situation, where it's like, we're going to whisper these things. It starts out here, and we're going to keep escalating until it's really bad. And that is how I feel about, I think that's kind of like a blueprint, how he wrote that for life.
For sure. I think a big part of recovering, I mean, if you're in a program, work the program. If you're, find a way. But I think my biggest part was calling exactly what it is. Like, recognizing, like, it is exactly that. It is nothing else.
Yeah.
And I can either succumb to that or I could be a conqueror of it. And Christ tells me I'm a conqueror. So I think
right.
I don't need that anymore.
Incredible, man. Well, I'm happy for you on that, dude. Where do we go? Like, I wanted to know, that's what. I was going to get into probes, but we're not there just yet. It's too early. It's too early for probes. The first time we met, you told me about that story with that crazy house. Can we hear about that?
For sure. So this is during COVID. The wife and I were going on an anniversary trip. The plan was to go to California, go down, to West Coast and see, was it Big Sur? I think it's Big Sur.
Okay.
It's a whole drive, right?
Yep.
But COVID happens, and we're not going to California because we're not vaccinated. So we fly into Reno instead. We're like, we'll pop into Lake Tahoe. Then we'll drive down to Vegas. We'll rent a sports car, go through the valley. It'll be great.
Sick.
So we do all these things, and halfway in between Reno and Las Vegas is a little town called Topanol, like right in the middle, 4 hours in. Now, I book all the hotels, and I tell her, hey, it's this old mining town. They got like an old school bank. The hotel, it's inside the hotel, historic museum. It's great. We'll go there. What I don't tell her is that it is also the #1 haunted house or hotel in the U.S.
Nice.
I failed to mention that. So,
surprise!
It got the #1 stargazing out there. It's going to be romantic. So we make our drive. We're in this bright red Dodge Challenger doing 150 through the desert.
Great.
We pull up to the hotel, and she's like, "Oh, this is so cute. It's going to be great." Well, the car stalls out right in front of the hotel. I mean, brand new car just dies.
Wow.
Like to a rolling stop, just dies. Can't start the car back up, so I put it in park. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll go inside from here. So we walk inside, and she's like, this is nice. We go to check in, and the clerk says, welcome to the Mizpah Hotel, America's most haunted hotel. My wife gives me the look like, this is the end of us. I'm going to find my own hotel. And the issue is she couldn't because the only other hotel in that town is the famous Clown Motel, like two blocks up the road.
Love that part of the story.
The only thing,
so
in my
funny.
opinion, that could have possibly been worse than booking a ghost hotel would have been booking a clown hotel.
Oh, there were cop cars out in front of it, like a slew of them when we drove in. I'm like, okay, I made the right call.
T. Corbett says, sounds like a Dodge.
It wasn't, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we go in there, and Sue's like, I'm not staying here. And I'm like, well, we got to stay here. I paid for the room. There's nowhere else. I'll take you to the clown place if you want. She's like, whatever. But you got to get me drunk. So we get our room key, and we go to the hotel. We go to the elevator, old elevator. You need like a service key to go down to the basement where the laundry and stuff is. So we hit the second floor. We want to stay in the room the murders happened, because if you're going to stay in a haunted hotel, you stay in that room.
Of course.
Well, the elevator takes us down to the service floor, just right away. And the doors open up, and there's like these two people doing laundry, like 30 yards away. So they didn't press a button, and they're looking at us like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "It just took us here." So it stops on every single floor on the way up to the second floor.
Beautiful.
So for a second, we finally get off. We get into the room, and Susie's just not having it. She's like, "We need to get out of here right now. I need a drink. Get me some food. Let's go see some stars." So we go do all that. And we come back and we go to bed that night, and somewhere around 2 o'clock in the morning, I was woken up and I heard someone breathing in the room. And it's not Susie; she's sound asleep, but it's this audible, just like wet, heavy, like in the room. Goes on for a couple of minutes. I think maybe it's the HVAC system. Then the HVAC system kicks on.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, so it wasn't that then?
great.
Yeah. So took some NyQuil, went to bed, and we got the hell out of there in the morning.
You just ignored it?
Exactly.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it. That's amazing. I wonder what the Yelp reviews are like for that hotel.
I didn't look into them,
Yeah.
but I do recommend stopping by if you're driving from Reno to Vegas.
That is crazy. So growing up, you grew up Christian?
I did.
We talk about this a lot on the show, and I'm still not really sure how I feel about it, but like, what was your take, or what is your take on ghosts, demons, aliens through the Christian lens?
Well, through a Christian lens, well, I do think, okay, is the universe as large as the universe that we believe it to be? I guess we gotta, oh God, how do we do this? Okay, so I don't think the Earth is millions of years old.
I don't either.
There.
I'm young. I'm a young Earth guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I do think we're somewhere probably in 10 to 25,000 range.
I think it's a
if
liberal number.
What's that?
I think that's a liberal number.
Okay.
Not politically liberal, but I
Okay.
think it's more like 6,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that. Okay.
But I don't know. Who am I?
I have questions. I have concerns. I mean, the firmament's a big concern of mine if we want to dive into there. But so I'm not really sure about alien life forms. I think maybe they're misconstrued with demons. You know, I do think they are here. I've seen real possession in real life. I've seen it turn people's lives upside down. I've seen people cut off their genitals and say that the thing they weren't born to be.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
if that's not possession, then what is?
Totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, I'm still kind of like thinking about, I'm having since become a Christian, you know, I've been looking back at everything I once thought about the world in terms of like what you're like the age of the earth, but then extraterrestrials, ghosts, all those things, you know, and we were just talking recently about how, you know, some people say it's all demons.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's all demons. I also believe in angels, you know,
Sure.
and then you have to distinguish, you know, what is what, because the demons pretend to be good, to slip into your brain and make you do bad things. But I just love that conversation and hearing different people's takes on it, because everyone's got a different take. You know, we had an exorcist on the show, and you know, he's seen some crazy stuff, you know, and some of it is kind of like a movie for him. What he's like with the vomiting and the screaming. I do believe in possession, big time. It can be, you know, just like what you're talking about with the gender, like mutilating yourself. Yeah. But it comes in all forms. So you know, it's fascinating to see the world through that now.
Well, whether you're an atheist or a believer, whether you believe it exists or not, there are people who do believe it exists. There are evil people who do believe it exists, and they sacrifice children in Haiti. 100%. My wife did a mission trip down there, and there was a girl they were going to sacrifice at the end of the week, and like everyone in town knew this was going to happen.
My goodness.
And they ended up there was a woman that ended up like paying for her freedom and adopted that girl.
Okay, hopefully not Hillary Clinton.
Well,
you know what I mean, right?
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully the kid likes islands.
Oh,
yeah, beaches.
Dude, Haiti's a demonic playground for the demons from this country.
It absolutely is, and you know, you also look at some of these African countries where they experience a revival because they have missionaries going there, and you see evil fighting. Like you see it fighting when it's losing ground. Yeah. And the way I talk about how we perceive it, maybe the U.S. is, we are so complacent with evil, we're so comfortable being around it, that possession doesn't have to look like the things in the movies. Right. There are walking zombies everywhere. Yeah, yeah. And maybe the reason we don't recognize it so much is because it's just so normal to us that we don't equate those things as abnormal.
Right. I mean, we've walked around D.C. we see how these people act, these people in their suits and that work in the Capitol. It's not a left-right thing. I think it exists on both sides. I think it's all over the place, and it's an issue for sure. Before we get to callers, something else I want to ask you about, having gone through what you've gone through, were you at all paranoid about the government before all this? And did it make you more paranoid after? I was born paranoid for whatever reason. Like, how do you operate through the world now, having been through that? And then you have a presence online. I believe a lot of people online are fake and possibly feds. Like, how do you feel about all that now?
Going into it, I mean, I'd listened to a handful of podcasts for a couple of years. I mean, but again, I grew up in church, but my parents were also in the arts. So I got both sides of the coin. Like, you know, I was hanging out with theater kids on a Wednesday nights, you know, and Sunday school kids on a Sunday morning. So I was pretty center of the road. I mean, libertarian most of my life. Right. And going through this process, I mean, I don't think that I'm any more or less paranoid. I think I'm just more aware and more cognizant. Yeah. Of, you know, I know when I'm being followed. I know when someone is asking me questions. You know, it's not for the reason they're asking questions. They're leading questions. Yeah. Yeah. We had a handful of dates that the wife and I went on while I was being prosecuted, where we met more people from D.C. who were, you know, just happened to be at our date nights and at our hotels, you know, than we'd ever met before in our lives.
Yeah. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. And that is not like a unique thing. Yeah. This happens.
One of them was we were seeing J.P. Sears at a comedy club in Sarasota, and there was a young couple about our age sitting next to us, and they're like, "Oh, we're from D.C., just in town to see J.P. Sears." Like, so you're from D.C. seeing J.P. Sears? This is not making sense to me whatsoever. So my wife, who is also she's very observant, we both look at each other like we both understand what's going on. So I look at the couple, I'm like, "Where'd you guys meet?" Same time, and they just sat there, just like, They didn't work out their backstory.
This is good. This is a good lesson, everybody. That's good. That's good. Yeah, because I do think that's happening, and it's happening a lot more, I think, now than ever. We've been talking about this. They call it the signature reduction army. Have you heard about that?
No.
It's a Pentagon thing. 60,000 that we know of people who basically have aliases to become who knows what, influencers, pundits, just random people at a warehouse, and they work. We don't really know what they do. There's a great Newsweek article about it, and that article might be 4 or 5 years old now, but like that's just one aspect. We talk about COINTELPRO and like all that kind of stuff, and I think it's crazy. Like I said, I was always paranoid, but then you get into like the media world, and you're this close to DC, and you're like, man, it is. And then you start reading a lot more about the COINTELPRO and what they did to people, and what they did to J6ers, and how they weaponized the government against the American people. It's terrifying stuff, man. But yeah, you should look into the signature reduction stuff. It's insane.
Oh, I was at a James O'Keefe party a few months ago, and I got a message from 3 people like, you should be aware there are at least 2 honeypot people there tonight. We know who they are. And I'm like, oh, good thing I'm happily married.
Yeah.
So
that's a great thing.
Be a problem.
Yeah, it's a great thing. God bless that. That's incredible. Well, Brandon, let's get to some callers, shall we?
Yeah, we could do that.
Guys, call in. Tell us your stories. While we do that, we have everyone here from IRL. Thank you for joining us. We are here with the Lectern guy, Adam Johnson. While we're waiting for that call, tell the people again where they can find your book.
Oh, my book is called Taking a Stand, and you can find it on my websites, unlicensedfurnituremovers.com. If you order in the next 2 weeks, I can guarantee a signature.
Awesome. I love it. And you will be moving furniture that's your new business. I'm going to country.
I applied to be a licensed furniture mover in DC. I'm still not approved yet.
And that's why people are showing up in random places.
I did some side work in moving for a little bit. It wasn't too bad.
I did it for 10 years.
A lot of traveling, man.
I drove a box truck for 10 years and moved furniture all around Connecticut, New Jersey, New York.
OKC.
Yeah.
I got to do like a full 26,000 pound Allied trailer one time, and it was nuts. It was like 2 people's houses in one trailer, and we had to do two separate moves. I think it was like Ohio, and the other one was like 8 hours from there somewhere, Connecticut or some shit.
I liked moving furniture. I like being like different places every day. It was a fun job to talk to different people.
Well, that's why touring was great.
Exactly. Very similar.
Less moving furniture, more moving gear.
Yeah.
I was fine with that. Break somebody's table, you're going to get bitched at. You break your own symbol, you're the one bitching at yourself. I appreciate that more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, anyone who follows me know I'm always traveling. I'm always somewhere else.
Yeah.
I love being home, but I get so stir crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traveling's great.
It doesn't take me very long before I get hay fever, and I'm just like, I need to get out of here.
I prefer driving.
So with the kids, once a year, we always fly into a state, and we do at least a 24-hour drive across states through national parks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll be in Tennessee in November.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I love Tennessee. Yeah, we like to drive. We fly, but flying right now.
You saw that AI is now going to be customizing your airfare?
What does that mean?
Oh, yeah. So based on your individual needs, I think Delta's rolling it out. I don't fly Delta anymore. So based on your profile, they're going to set a price point for you.
Social credit score.
So I'm a little bougie. I like flying first. I like the big chair. And it's mostly because I don't want to sit next to people and have a conversation. There's like these dividers, and it's great.
Yeah, yep.
And because of who I am, I have 1 or 2 conversations with people, and I'd rather have one than the other. But the places I fly into, it's usually...
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's via Getty.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it weird that you came here for a conversation? Okay. Because there's 3 of us. It's almost like we're sitting on here. It looks like we're sitting in a row on a plane. So you're actually.
They don't know we're on a plane this whole time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're actually in the drone.
Snakes on a plane.
Snakes on a plane.
Yeah, that guy's not real over there.
Samuel L. Jackson is here somewhere.
Brother Shogo 8222 said flying is ghetto now. I mean, it's not great. I've not done it in some months now because I just couldn't take it anymore. It was horrible.
Didn't get ground service in Atlanta once. And this was like a year ago, and it was just the worst.
Just even the process of getting to the plane. Like, it's horrible. And no one seems to know how to do their jobs anymore. Everyone's outsourcing their job to a machine. And if you dare ask someone for help. They're like, the machine's right there. I'm like, I hate the machine though.
You got a tag in your own bags now?
Yeah.
Oh,
what the
yeah.
heck?
Oh,
They
yeah.
should pay us to do all this work. My goodness.
I make sure to tip myself when I check my own bag.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good. Everyone out there should be doing that.
Yeah, 20%, guys. Remember, treat yourself. It's fine.
Are we having YouTube problems? People are talking about YouTube issues. I guess Tim was having.
I have
earlier.
not seen a YouTube issue yet.
Okay.
YouTube was going off the rails earlier, almost like the quote unquote AI units that we were referring to yesterday on the show. But from what I can see, I think there's probably still issues. Kellen was reporting some stuff, but again, guys, if anything happens on YouTube, just pop over to Rumble. It's not behind the paywall. Just look us up over there. Watch the show there. It's fine.
Right.
But otherwise, I think we're okay.
I don't know what happened in the chat, but everyone's talking about Greta now.
Greta Thunberg?
I'm assuming. What did I miss?
I can't
America's
remember the
favorite
name.
Downy.
I can't remember the name. I'm. And Renee, you're probably going to have to remind me, but somebody in here has pledged his undying fealty to Greta Thunberg.
Okay. Well, you do know Peter Thiel said she's the Antichrist, so.
All I know is she's overqualified for the Chromosome Olympics.
That's amazing. You should make a shirt that says that.
That was good.